Hello everyone, welcome to another episode of TCG Talk, back today with another video. And in today's video, I want to talk about should you play Katsu or should you play Fi? Kind of give you the differences, some of the strengths and weaknesses of both. Really just talk about some of the key elements of both heroes if you're new to the game, and if you're a seasoned player, just kind of give my more intricate thoughts and hopefully help you make a good decision. So if you're new to the channel, thank you so much for stopping by. Welcome. Hope you enjoy your stay. Feel free to check out my other videos. I do Flesh and Blood content as well as some Alpha Clash content here and there. If you're a long-standing supporter, thank you all so much as always. Please feel free to leave some feedback down below on how I can get better with these videos, what type of things you would like to see, so on and so forth. So when I originally started this video idea, the original thought was going to be, why should you play Katsu over Fi? If you want that video still, leave a comment down below and let me know. I definitely can do it. But then I thought about it and I was like, you know what? I don't want to dissuade somebody from playing a hero that they think they might enjoy, right? And I'm not going to beat the Katsu drum so hard to say that Katsu is better than Fi, because truly I think they're both really good, and I think they're both better into different things based off my experiences. And I'll kind of talk about that. It'll be an element of this. So I changed it to, you know, should you play Katsu or should you play Fi? And try to give you both competitive reasons on why you should play both, casual reasons on why you should play both, and overall just kind of give you different things to help you make a good decision. But overall, it's down to you on what you want to do. So I'm going to do a couple different elements. I'm going to talk about fun factor, not what's more fun, but what makes each hero fun and kind of what you might align with. I'm going to talk about a competitive standpoint, which one is more competitive, which one is more competitive into different things. Talk about the thematics of each hero, and also talk about deck construction and what it could mean if you went into other heroes as a whole. So the first one and the most subjective one is fun factor. So fun factor, I'm not going to say which one's more fun because that's completely subjective, right? If I gave you my opinion, I'd say Katsu is more fun, but that's just how I look at it, right? I'm going to tell you the fun elements of both, and it kind of aligns with card archetypes and styles of how you play and things of that nature, right? Katsu is more tempo-based. He's more combo-oriented, right? He's a deck that plays mind games. You're not just... A lot of people try, and if you want to play Katsu this way, you can, but it's not, in my opinion, ideal, is they just want to slam cards, slam damage. And originally, Katsu was the aggro deck, right? He was the original aggro deck. But over time, especially with the Bonds of Ancestry lines and stuff like that, and the different ways you can do the Surging line, and some on-hit effects, and his reactions and things of that nature, Katsu has turned more into this like breakpoint style hero that really forces your opponent to make constant decisions and eventually hopefully a bad one, right? He is not like Fi. Fi is more, if you want to slam cards and throw damage, Fi is your guy. He is the one where you're just going to have consistent output, consistent fire coming at you, right? Very thematic to who he is on the right. Overall, he's the red aggro go burr deck, right? The aggro burn deck. That's what he does. And Katsu's more finesse, right? There are some turns where Katsu just slams damage, right, if he has all his combo pieces, but really Katsu's trying to weave in and out, right? Old school ninja style, really use the elements and use his positioning to his advantage, right? So that's kind of the difference of fun factor. So if you're more of a aggro go burr, let's go crazy type deck, and you just want to slam damage down and really press your opponent, Fi is really good for you, and there's a lot of card players that love that archetype. If you're looking for more of a, I'd say mid-range to almost, he doesn't play mid-range, but he plays more to mid-range to almost like a mid-range aggro-y like deck that has very high spike turns but can still put out pretty consistent damage, and you really want to play mind games with your opponent, Katsu is really good for that, right? If you like the ninjutsu art style or ninjutsu style of Magic, Katsu might be good for you. Not because he does the same mechanic, but it's the same type of mind game thing of you don't know what's coming next, right? You don't know, should I block this? Should I not block this? There's another hero in the game, Uziri, that does that really well, but Katsu does it too. So hopefully that makes sense for you. When it comes to competitive, the natural consensus, and this is where my subjectivity might come out a little bit, but I'm gonna try to keep it objective. People just naturally say Fi is better, play Fi. Fi is always better. Well, first off, lately Katsu's been putting in some pretty good results in my opinion, even compared to Fi. But I think both decks are competitive and both decks have strengths. Fi's strength is he's consistent. Fi is a better at racing technically because he can put out consistent damage turn to turn. He's less prone to brick, air quotes, brick, and can really just put constant pressure on the opponent, right? Katsu's Katsu's strength is that he's more flexible. Katsu's better into disruption. He's better into stuff like ice. He's better on hit effects against him because he can basically fix his own hand right with Katsu's ability, which allows him the first time an attack action card hits to discard a card and go get a card with combo and then play it, banish it, and then play it that chain or that turn. It allows him to basically fix his hands, right? And allows him to weave in and out of bad situations. So he plays a little bit better, in my opinion, on 2 and 3 card hands than Fi does. Whereas he also has now, since the belittle ban for Fi really hurt Fi really bad. Since belittle was banned, I think Katsu does better at spiking. Katsu can have crazy spike turns, 20 plus damage very, very easily. Fi can as well, but I think Katsu does a little bit better with that because he's doing the same level of spike turn in terms of damage, but he's also forcing more interaction while doing it. So that's kind of like the differences in competitive. Like if I'm in a meta with Icelander and even Bravo, trying to think of other ones. Dory, I want Katsu, personally. I just do. He's more flexible, has better defensive options outside of Flamescale Furnace, and overall is just a better hero into them, in my opinion. If I'm playing into an aggro meta, if I'm playing against Lexis and Dromais and, other things like that, I want to play again as Fi. But that's just my opinion. Some people will disagree. I think they're both very even. I literally just think it depends on meta. So that's how they are competitively. Thematics, pretty obvious, as you can see here. Katsu is more of the old school ninja feel, right? Like he's from Mysteria, he's from the mountains, right? More like Eastern look to him and kind of plays into that thematic. So if you like that, like I love ninja and samurai stuff. I love like Sekiro, the video game Sekiro, and I'll watch like tons of documentaries on it and stuff like that. The movie Last Samurai, I love that thematic. So if you love that, Katsu's definitely for you. Fi is more like, more modern. People call him Zuko from Avatar Last Airbender, right? Definitely more like aggro and action based. And I think if you like that, then you'll like Fi. When it comes to deck construction, that's another one. It really depends on what you think you're going to do in the game. Fi has a little bit more flexibility with deck construction because he is going to have Draconic cards in his kit. So you're going to be able to use some of those towards Dromai if you ever wanted to switch decks. Katsu's kit's pretty... He does have some generics like Enlightened Strike that he uses, and Snatch, and Snapdragon Scalers, and even Tunic, but overall, like a lot of his cards are ninja focused. He's not a very generic deck. Neither one of these decks are generic, so you're really not losing out on either one. I think Fi has a little bit more flexibility to play into stuff like Dromai, but it really depends. When it comes to hero support, Katsu technically has a little bit more support than Fi. Fi's kits kind of stayed the same for a while, so it really depends on what you want to do that. To me, it really comes down to play style with these two heroes on who you want to play and why. If you want a more finesse-like deck, a deck that makes your opponent, have to think a little bit more, a deck that can, be more flexible and weave through hands and really kind of have like intricacy to play and, a little bit more depth. I do think Katsu has more depth than Fi. But if you're just that aggro go player that wants to slam cards down and, break necks and cast checks, Fi is your type of guy. And neither one is better or worse than the other. Some people are different. I personally love the flexibility of Katsu. That's why I also love Yuziri. I love her flexibility as well. Things you can do, mind games you can play with the opponent. And then I love those big spiky combo turns that you do with Breeze Otter Boots. But some people I know love Fi's consistency and love what Fi can do. The negatives and the downsides to be each, if I'm going to be honest here. So Katsu's negative is he is prone to bricking, although I think if you play Katsu in the correct way where it's like, I know I'm not going to have ideal hands sometimes and I have to play for my outs, play for my combo pieces, and really make the most of every hand. Some people view it as a positive, some people view it as a negative, so it all depends on what you want. But his consistency can lack sometimes, depending on deck construction, but if you build your deck properly, you really do minimize that. Fi's weakness, it's not so much a weakness, but it's a weakness as far as like how he looks at playing, like how good he looks to play as like a player, like for fun factor, is he's very linear. Fi is very much slam a 0 for 3 down, slam a 0 for 3 down, swing with Ember Blade or Kadachi's, play Lava Burst at the end, or play, a Rupture card. yes, there are some intricacies and lines to force people to do different things and really make the most of your interaction. But overall, Vi's very linear. He has an obvious game plan, and you kind of know what's coming a lot of times based off what he's doing. There are some exceptions to the rule, but basically that's that. So it really depends on what you like to do. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. That's kind of what my basis is. If you're really trying to pick between the two in the ninja class, I wanted to make this more discussion based just for fun. But let me know what else you'd like to know about these heroes that I haven't already covered. Definitely check out my How to Katsu series. I haven't done a How to Fi series, but I have done a How to Katsu series. Check out those. Let me know what your thoughts are. Give me some feedback on this. If there's any other information you'd like to know between the two, I definitely can do a follow-up video to this more in depth, maybe even on a stream. So yeah, hopefully you enjoy this type of content. If you did, please leave a like, comment, and subscribe. If not me, it's totally fine. Go to our Flesh Bug Creator, leave a like, comment, subscribe on their stuff so you get more people seeing this game. We got new people with spoiler cards coming out this weekend. As of, Wednesday, I do not have a spoiler card. I was not given one this set, which is completely fine. I'm super happy to see new creators get it and be able to showcase. So definitely search around. I know a couple different creators got first-time spoiler cards, so it's super fun to see that. Super excited for Bright Lights. And yeah, I'll see y'all next time on TCG Talk. Thank y'all so much. Have a great day.